God created us and gave us free will, and before he created each and every one of us, he knew exactly in his eternal, perfect wisdom what each one of us would eventually do with that free will. That if he gave me, for example, free will, I would use my free will in the wrong way, take the wrong turn.
But by the way, that philosophically makes it's impossible. You having free will and God knowing what you're going to do with free will, there's no way that's possible. Like, no matter how religious people try to justify it, if God knows how you're going to use your free will, you cannot know something unless it's predetermined. And if it's predetermined, then you have no free will. All the philosophical, and that's it's just that simple. Anybody that wants to tell you that it's not that simple, they're going to use like complicated philosophical gymnastics, and they're going to come and take simple terms, and they're going to come up with names for it that makes it sound a lot more intelligent than it actually is. It's this. Don't let them confuse you with their philosophical mumbo jumbo, okay? They are just using simple terms that is so easily understandable, and they're coming up with terms for it that you were like, oh, I don't know what that means. You guys must be so smart. No, it's just that simple. If God knows what you're going to do, if God knows what you're going to do, then it's predetermined. If it's predetermined, you have no free will. So either God doesn't know what you're going to do, or you have no free will. There's nothing that could fix that contradiction. The only explanation that people could come up with and get away with, which is the most ridiculous, is like, well, it's beyond our comprehension. God works in mysterious ways. I mean, if it's beyond your comprehension, then why do you believe in it? You cannot believe in things that is beyond your comprehension. Just be like, I don't know, I have no idea what all of this is. Just be like, I don't know. Just be like, I can't believe in a God because this is beyond my comprehension. So why do you believe in things that are beyond your comprehension then? You know what other people do? Like, oh, why do we have matter rather than like nothing at all? Like, why do we have things rather than nothing? Like, we don't know. So what are you going to do? You're going to come up with an answer? Like, no, it's beyond our comprehension. We're just going to say, I don't know. But you guys want to pretend like you know everything, even though you know nothing. No, okay. And by the way, not only do we not have free will, if God knows how we're going to use our quote unquote free will, guess who else doesn't have free will? Guess who else does not free will? God! If God knows what he's going to do, then he is chained by his own knowledge of the future. If God already knows what his decisions are going to be, then God is not only not the most powerful thing in the universe, God has zero powers if he's chained by his own knowledge of what's going to happen, if everything is predetermined. So we went from the most powerful, unlimited capability, unlimited omniscient power ever in the whole universe to somebody that cannot even decide whether or not to answer someone's prayer, because they already know what they're going to do. So he went from infinite power to actually zero power. God is self-contradictory, okay? If God has full knowledge, then he has zero power. Zero power. Oh, thank you. I hope you're doing well. This is my AR family.
Make the wrong choice and go to hell. And yet he created me. Yes, he did give me free will, and theoretically it is then my choice. But as said, even before he planned to create me and before he planned to give me that free will, he knew exactly what I would do with that free will and that I would eventually go to hell.
That's a contradiction. You can't have free will if God already knew what you're going to do with it.
He created me with that free will. He created my ability to choose. He created my ability to make the wrong choice. He created the punishment, the place of punishment. He created my wrong choice.
Yeah, and so he was like, I'm going to make hell, and I know you're going to create this thing. This is so bizarre. Like, the religious people, they have no answer for this. They're like, Oh, you chose to go to hell. And God knew I was going to choose to go to hell? Yeah, like, yeah. And he made me anyways? Yeah. And why do you do that? Why would you do that? Like, I'm going to make this thing and it's going to end up being a torture machine forever. Like, this is going to be a thing that's going to experience pain and misery for eternity and screaming for eternity. Like, well, stop! Don't make it! What are you doing? Like, no, I'm going to give him a choice. Well, okay, so does he have a chance? Does he have a chance? Nope. Like, wait, God, you already know he's going to go to hell? Yeah. So he has 0 chances of not experiencing eternal torture. Yep. God, put the mud down. Stop making that thing. Stop, God. You're making something that is going to experience eternal torture. Just stop it, God. Here, have some candy. You just, God, stop it. Don't make that thing. Do something else. Go away. Chill. Here, let's play some video games or something. I don't know.
He created me with that mistake, but he punishes me after I live my flawed life and make that mistake. Some people may want...
What doesn't it depend on the definition of free will? No, it doesn't. If you're predetermined to do everything, if you're predetermined, yeah, no, there's no free will. Spoiler alert. Armin and Red Run both are going to hell.
Want to nitpick some details about this and correct some aspects again.
No.
And some Christians may want to explain that evil came into existence because of the fall of humans, while Muslims may...
Yeah, but it's all according to God's plan. Like, oh, well, God didn't do it because he fell and human decided themselves. Well, yeah, it's all according to God's plan. Is it not according to God's plan? It's still like, oh, but you did this and you chose this and human did this and they brought this upon themselves. Yeah, in accordance to God's plan.
They want to argue that Allah made an agreement with everybody before he created us. But these are...
Sure. This is like, because this is very interesting because some religious people are looking at this, right? Some like scholars, again, not real scholars. Again, I don't think that it's fair to call religious scholars. Like, you're a scholar in magic? Yeah. I don't think it's fitting to call. But we say Islamic quote unquote scholars, right? They looked at this and like, this doesn't like seem right. Like, God is like forcing you to play this game, and if you lose, you're gonna burn in hell. Like, what if you never? There's no consent here. This is forced upon us, right? So some Islamic philosophers that could actually had 2 brain cells to rub together managed to figure out that this doesn't make any sense. They're like, guys, there need to be like we have to come up with a solution to this. This doesn't look good. What do we do? So they were like, okay, there was in the previous life before this one, you were asked if you consent to this, and you consented. Just throw that in there. Let's just pretend that happened. And like, well, I don't remember that. Yeah, but, well, you don't remember it because once you're born, all your memory from your past life, it just gets wiped out. And like, okay, so you're saying I already agreed to this and I don't remember it, and I should just trust you that you're telling me? Where are you getting this from? Like, well, because it doesn't make sense if it didn't happen this way. Oh, okay. So it's kind of like me going out and how do I say this without YouTube getting me a strike? The R word, you guys know the R word? Oh, doing the sexy time without consent. Okay? Imagine if I did that to a woman. Don't imagine it too much. And then she went out and reported me to the police, and my defense was like, yeah, she consented. Her memory got wiped from the fact that she consented. And the judge are like, oh, okay, all right, you're free to go. Like that if that was this is their defense. We consented and we just don't remember. Our memory was wiped. That's basically what it is. This is the level of philosophical. This is how they show. Like, oh my God, look at the great minds of the Islamic scholarship. Like they just come up with. They like notice something is wrong, and they come up with stories, and they're like, yeah, it just happened. Just trust us. This is how smart these people are. Yeah, exactly. Like, no, people like just you have to just trust the nature of Armin, who Armin wouldn't do anything. So between Armin doing this to somebody and it's so unbelievable that I'm gonna go with the story that her memory must have been wiped clean. Okay. Oh, there was cameras. The cameras were also magically like wiped from the part that she was consenting. Okay, everything. All right. There's audio evidence. The audio is also. Yeah. Here's the thing, though. The philosophers, okay, when you have like people debating philosophical positions, right? If you have magic on your side, if magic is allowed, then that allows the laziest form of doing philosophy possible, because you could be like, somebody like, well, this is not possible within realm of reality, right? And you look at it and you're like, yes, you're right. It seems like the boundaries of the real world doesn't make this possible. Let me hear. I'm gonna just, let me figure out. Oh yeah, I'm gonna inject some magic in here. There we go. The boundaries of the reality. Oh, look at all those boundaries disappearing. Oh, now I can come up with so many excuses. Oh, look at this now. Oh, look, I inserted magic. Now I can say, well, this happened and that happened. And like, you're like, but that's not possible. Like, oh, everything is possible with magic. Okay.